Several former U.S. Air Force officers have shared that almost 70 years ago, they witnessed multiple unidentified aerial phenomenon sightings over 2 U.S. nuclear bases. Shockingly, the men also claimed that these 1964 aerial sightings occurred nearly simultaneously with the spontaneous immobilizing of the base's nuclear intercontinental ballistic missiles, suggesting that whatever or whoever was up there successfully disabled the ICBMs from above.
Friend of the show, Emily Jashinsky, attended a Tuesday press conference held at the National Press Club in Washington, where a panel of former USAF officers detailed those incidents and others like them. According to Emily's reporting, the group called for congressional investigations into the sightings and said they felt they had been ignored previously. One former officer told the debrief at the event, quote, "Now the question is, will the government tell us the truth about what they've known now for decades?" So, look, obviously I tend to be more skeptical, I think, than anyone else involved in producing this show for our viewers, that aliens are real and doing things. I do think they're China, Russia, other governments with technologies or that have been a little ahead of ours that we've been different, not understood. That is a reality. I don't know about the aliens, but what do you think, Kim?
Well, I mean, look, this has been reported on for a long time, over a decade. There are these many other people, Robert Hastings, Dr. Stephen Greer, they have been bringing up the sightings and witnesses to these sightings, and the fact that there have been numerous accounts from some of our top military officials, people that we've trusted with nukes. I mean, if we trust them with nukes, they're clearly not crazy people. And they have been testifying, saying that, look, something is blowing up nukes out when we send them out into space. They're getting blown up, essentially, or they're being disabled. Our nuclear facilities are being disabled. And this is something that has been reported by not only the United States, but other nuclear countries as well. And their thinking is that there is something out there that is an alien, not of this world life form that is monitoring the United States. They say that the monitoring of the nukes and the disabling of the nukes happened since the U.S. dropped the nukes, 2 of them on Japan. And the theory is that event resonated out in the universe, and the more intelligent life form says, "What the heck are those humans doing?" And they came down, and they were monitoring us, and they said, "Okay, you guys are dangerous because whatever it is you're doing is dangerous for the universe, not just for your space in the world or in the universe." And they started to monitor and start to disable. And since then, whenever we've put nukes out there, out into space, things have happened. Nuclear sites are being disabled. And so this is something that some of the military officials are kind of trying to say, well, see, this is a national security problem, that there's somebody out there trying to mess with our nuclear arsenal. It seems to me that if there is out there, which I am one that believes that there's, of course, life forms out there in the world, I think there's no way we're alone. If they are out there and they are disabling our nukes, they're not doing it because they're a threat to us. They're doing it because we're a threat to ourselves, and maybe we're a threat to some aspects of the universe.
Ryan, do you think we've angered the Galactic Federation and their...
Well, I mean, I do think that the chance that we're the only planet that has ever created life forms is vanishingly small. Like, like just the math on that, given this expansive size of the universe, seems hard to get your head around. I do think hearings on this would be a way to build back some trust.
Yeah.
Hold open hearings.
No argument. Absolutely have hearings. We know that our government, our security officials, they know things that they don't share with us. They should share them with us. Absolutely. Yeah.
But no.
Well, and apparently what they're sharing now is that they've known about this, that this is something that is documented. It's in our government. And now they're admitting it into the public. And these people, these high-level military officials have been smeared as quacks for years. Like I said, we've trusted them with nuclear arsenal. And as soon as they open their mouths and say, hey, by the way, something weird happened, and there's many of them who have said this, suddenly they're smeared as, wackadoos that people shouldn't be taking seriously. That now they are finally being heard. Now they're finally being taken somewhat seriously because these reports are coming out.
Maybe the aliens told me to dismiss your concerns to keep you in the dark.
Maybe you're an alien.
Yeah, this could be.
Yeah, well, that's more likely. I mean, knowing Robbie.
But we do need more government transparency. That's always good. And yes, we can take seriously when and also, when pilots say they've seen things that don't make sense. A lot of things, some things just don't make sense, and there's not an obvious answer. And then eventually, hopefully, we learn the truth. We find out it's something we didn't think of. You think about that with weird mysteries like the Malaysian airplane or something, what happened? People said that was aliens, had no idea how it could have disappeared. And then eventually the Atlantic, I think it was the Atlantic, did some really, really, really good, really thorough reporting. Honestly, the best story I've ever read in my life about how probably the...
I'm going to hold it there. Excuse me, Salakia. That's what we want right there. Okay, I'm going to open up with the book of Isaiah, chapter 46 and verse 9. Remember the former things of old, for I am God, and there is none else. I am God, and there is none like me. Declaring the end from the beginning, and the former ancient times, the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure. Okay, so the Creator, which is his name, because God is a title, his name is Yahweh, and his son's name is Yahweh Shai. That's the ancient Hebrew name of our Father. Remember, I am the Lord. Lord in Paleo-Hebrew means Yahweh. I change not, therefore ye sons of Jacob are not consumed. Okay, so he's saying his counsel is going to stand, not the counsel of the heathens, not the counsel of Edom. Okay, because why do they have a Space Force, people? U.S. Air Force. Now they have a Space Force. Go do your research. Okay, because now these things are what? Being declared. And through the prophets, because these are non-believers. Okay, let's go to the book of Psalms, chapter 68, because aliens, that's in Lamentations 5 and 2. I'll get that if I'll get that. But let's matter of fact, let's just go there now. Let's go there now and get that. Let's go there now and read that. Let's read aliens. Okay, this is the book of Lamentations, chapter 5 and verse 2. Okay? Matter of fact, I'll start at verse 1. Remember, O Lord, what is come upon us. Consider and behold our reproach. So the Israelites have a reproach from the other nations, especially from, you go to Psalms 83, the top nation that has reproached the Israelites is Edom, the so-called white man. Our heritage, our inheritance is turned to strangers, our houses to aliens. But they reversed everything and call us illegal aliens. Or they're calling, would they, the government know that these are the chariots of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai in the host of heaven. They know, okay? But the lower public, they don't get it. That's why they bring all this mass confusion with these movies on UFOs and unidentified flying objects and alien phenomenals and aerial phenomenals, okay? And all these green Martians with big eyes, and okay? The movie Aliens, and all sorts of movies, multitudes, to keep the confusion going. Okay? All right, people? So let's continue. Let's go to the book of Psalms, chapter 68 and verse 17. And it reads, 68 and 17, the chariots of God, I'll read it verbatim, are 20,000, even thousands of angels. The Lord is among them as in Sinai in the holy place. So I'm going to go with what the Lord say, not what our enemies claim through their propaganda rhetoric, okay, their lies and their deception. All right, I'm going to go with the Lord say. I'm going to read that again. The chariots of God are 20,000s, even thousands of angels. The Lord is among them as in Sinai in the holy place. Okay, let's keep going. Let's go to the book of Psalms 104 and 3. 104 and 3, and it reads, who laid the beams of his chambers in the water? Who maketh the clouds his chariots? Who walketh upon the wings of the wind? Okay, who maketh his angels spirits, his ministries, and a flaming fire, Salakia, a flaming fire. So the Lord is doing this. Remember, we're declaring the end from the beginning. So that end is the end of an age. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follow. Okay? So that's what's going on, people. This age is coming to an end. Okay? The Caucasian man is losing his power. Let's keep going. Let's go to the book of Proverbs, chapter 21 and verse 30. And it reads, Proverbs 21 and 30. There's no wisdom, nor understanding, nor counsel against the Lord. You see, because they've taken crafty counsel on the left-hand side, which is sorcery, witchcraft. The horses is prepared against the day of battle, but safety is of the Lord. Okay, let's go to the book of Revelations, chapter 19 and verse 11. And it reads, 19 and 11. And it reads, and I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse. Horse represents power, people. That's allegoric term. All right? Okay? White is pure. And he that sat upon him was called faithful and true. And in righteousness he do judge and make war. And that's what's coming to the earth. Okay? That's how they were able to disassemble these nukes. Okay? And they're in fear. Because Edom thinks that he's the power of the earth, which he is now, but he thinks he can trump Yahweh Shai in the host of heaven. Okay? And he won't even have it won't even be I can't even find the words. I'll let the Bible speak. His eyes were as a flame of fire, and his head were many crowns. So those crowns are going to be the crowns of the other nations. He's going to get ready to take the earth back, okay, in the kingdom. And he had a name written that no man knew but himself, okay, because the other nations, the men, they don't know his name. Okay, they don't get it. They want to call him Jesus Christ. They want to bow down to their gods. Because remember, I am the Lord, I change not. Therefore, ye sons of Jacob are not consumed. Because if you go to John 17 and 6, he have manifest his name unto the men out of the world. Because if you're in the world, you're not of those men. Okay? All right? So let's keep going. And excuse me, verse 13. And he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood, because that's what he's coming back. And that's Psalms, Isaiah 63, Salakia, Isaiah 63, that vesture of blood, dipped in blood. And his name is called the Word of God. And the armies which were in heaven followed him upon white horses, clothed in fine linen. Okay? White and clean. And out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword. That's Isaiah 66 and 15. That with it he should smite the nations. No, I thought he was coming to save everybody. And he shall rule them with a rod of iron. And he treaded the great press of the fierceness and wrath of the Almighty God. And he have on his vesture and on his tight a name written, on his thigh a name written, King of Kings, Lord of Lords. Okay, let's get that in Isaiah 66 in Salakia. Sometime I stumble a little bit at my words, but I keep going. I keep going. Those who have ears can hear and have patience. Okay, let's go to Isaiah 66, one of my favorite verses. Okay, Isaiah 66 and 15. And it reads, for behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render with his chariots. Okay, those are those so-called UFO'S, which are the chariots of Yahushua. Okay, the chariots of Israel. They're coming for two things. They're coming to save, for salvation, for the Israelites, and they're also coming to destroy. Plus those nukes that he's going to be in control of. Yahweh and Yahushua and the host, they're going to control them. Don't you see that right now? But you can't get it. Everybody can't get this. This is not for the faint-hearted. I'll start over. For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many. I'm going to end it there. And I want to give all praise and honor to Yahweh and his son Yahushua, who the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ. I want to thank the apostles, the elders, the teachers, preachers that's going out throughout Israel, teaching in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and freedom to do so. Okay? And the other Akim, the hopeful elect, the 1/3, I want to thank them, and hopefully this was edifying to the listening ear. Okay? And I'm going to end it there and say Shalom.